Race 2 from Chelmsford City. This is a handicap over 7 furlongs, a full field of 10 run. And the betting looks like this. Classic Charm is 3-1. Garth Rocket is 7-2. That's the same price for African Blessing. Cracker is 7-1. Hollander at 9s. Harbour Vision 10s. 14s the special one. So too Pindaric. Ubler at 16s. And Dreamboat Annie in from 33s to 25s. Classic Charm now 3-1. Just asked which horse you'd like to speak about first, James, and it was pretty clear, African Blessing.
Yeah, I thought it was very unlucky last time at the track when drawn 11 of 11, stuck very, very wide under Kieran Foxman. It wasn't an advantage to be like that, and that definitely cost him victory on that occasion for me. He's only a pound higher here. The form of his previous wins working out well. Foreign Legions won a couple of times since then, so it's looking pretty good. I think he's got a great chance, despite the widest draw here. Again tonight, still late. I think that might be the better place for the track to be tonight.
He's doing well for the new set of connections, but I suppose reassessed and off a mark of 60, there's probably still plenty of scope based on previous form anyway, isn't there?
Yeah, most definitely. He's well handicapped, isn't he, on what he showed for previous connections, and I think he's 5 or 6 times better than what we saw on just his last run alone, just because of the circumstances of the race, where the wide draw really didn't suit him at all, and his peak rating was 72 in the past, and he was quite consistent off that mark for David Barron. So I think there's lots in his favour. Against that, Classic Charm's had a bit of a form boost.
Classic Charm has indeed. Still a maiden though, 10 race maiden of course.
Yeah, it's been a little bit unlucky really. Came up against some quite decent horses for the level here at Chelmsford. Second to Squire back in November, then third to Gloria Paris, who's won since at Chelmsford. And then Philomundo, we saw win very impressively in the opener. 5 lengths behind that. No shame, bearing in mind that's one off the £11 higher mark. So Classic Charm sets the standard and definitely probably deserves to be at the head of the market with African Blessing, but I still think African Blessing perhaps is a little bit more in hand with the handicapper. Okay,
Garth Rocket has been off since November. Last time out, Lingfield winner, up a couple of pounds for that. Winning the same race actually for the second year in a row. Won here off 57 in Fine Star last June. Now a 65 rated horse. How do you think he'll go?
Slightly concerned. He's been off a track for a little while. He won the apprentice race, given a good ride by Kieran Fallon Jr. Who's obviously been learning his trade, I think, in America, Australia during the winter. Slight concern for me. He's had 86 days off a track since then, and generally he runs pretty regularly, and he often needs a run after a break. So that would be my slight issue with Garth Rocket. But he's pretty strong in the market. Brendan Powell's having a few winners at the moment. Mr. Andros won well at Lingfield the other day for him. So connections clearly think he could go okay, but I just felt the other two are proper race fit and perhaps have a little bit more in hand than the handicapper.
You can see the jockey Shane Kelly stood behind the horse, just being walked around there. Gives us an opportunity to talk about Hollander. We drifted out to around about 8-1 earlier, and it's a similar price now. Unraced beyond 6 furlongs, having a crack at 7 for the first time. I think it's probably quite a fair move.
Yeah, possibly. The win came over 5 furlongs back in October at Wolverhampton. Perhaps the handicap has just got hold of him now and try something different. 5th, not beating that far at Wolverhampton, over 6 last time out behind a sure welcome. Dropped £2 for the back of that. Did stay on. The handicap does have about right, I think.
And Cracker gained sole win when joining this yard back at Yarmouth last August, that of Christine Dunnett. Invariably runs his race there or thereabouts off this sort of mark, and with the style from the front, do you think he'll be as effective over 7 furlongs?
Yeah, you'd imagine they're going to ride in the same.
Yep.
All the form has been at 6, and he's not really been seeing out the races that well, but he is the main pace angler in the race. I don't think he's going to be hassled too much in the front end, so Cracker's definitely an each-way candidate. Those 2 runs at Chelmsford and Lingford last twice have been pretty solid off this kind of mark.
The selection is African Blessing then?
Stick with that one.
Excellent stuff. There is number 1. That is Hollander. Nicola Curry, second ride of the evening. Going forward there, just in the foreground, was Cracker, and we see Hollander going in to stall number 4, son of Dutch Art, as he takes another turn. Willie Muir, the trainer. So too Dreamboat Annie going forward, and I think now we can rejoin Alan House with the call.
Thanks, Nick. Final couple to move in now. Dreamboat Annie's gone into 9. Last time moving in, it'll be Ubler to stall number 6. Ready to race, and they're off for the Tote Pool Cashback Club at totesport.com. A handicap stakes over their 7 furlong journey. Dreamboat Annie was well into stride and leads the way from Cracker down toward the inside. Ubler pressing up into 3rd position as they head down the back, and then came Garth Rocket with Pindaric in the green. followed then by African Blessing and the Special One, then the red and white silks of the filly Classic Charm under Robert Winston. Back through them to find Hollander in the red and yellow, and Harbour Vision is the back marker under Paddy Mathers. Running towards the end of the far side then, it's Dreamboat Annie. She leads under Rab Havlin from Ubla in second. Crackers placed in third. Then came Pindaric in the green and yellow. Garth Rockets behind that runner. Another length away to African Blessing, then the Special One, followed closely by Classic Charm. Another 2 lengths away to Hollander, and then Harbour Vision. Making the run towards the final 2.5, and it's Dreamboat Annie who has the call. From in second, Cracker, angling off the rail to challenge. Then came Ubla, very wide into the home straight. African Blessing nipping up the inside is the Special One. Also running on nicely there is Garth Rocket as they go towards the final furlong. Wide open, Dreamboat Annie joined by Cracker, Garth Rocket, Classic Charm, and the Special One. A 5-way go, Pindaric, and also Harbour Vision looks to get involved. A real charge up to the line now. Pindaric, Harbour Vision over the top. Harbour Vision came through to beat Pindaric. Garth Rocket home in third, then Cracker.
Well, plenty with a chance. They came right down towards the centre of the track, and in fact Harbour Vision challenging widest of those. They were well strung across, and Harbour Vision, 1 from 9 for David Brown, who was making the first start for Derek Shaw and first run since gelding. I was well on top at the end, getting the better of Pindaric, who's run yet another good race. But I suppose the function of the finish was that they were spread 5-6 horses across the track, and they came right down towards the middle of it.
Yeah, no one's really wanting the inside, which has generally been how the track's been playing recently. But if you're going to go wide, you probably want to try and not be too wide around the actual home bend itself, and then switch to the middle of the track. Unfortunately, African Blessing had a really wide trip, very, very keen under Kieran Fox. In the end, I thought they'd just let Cracker run on, but they decided to take a lead, stepping up 7 furlongs. It meant there wasn't a great deal of pace. Quite a few were pulling at the back of the field.
Yeah, Cracker lost a bit of room there on the inside, just had to take a bit of a pull in behind Dreamboat Annie. You can spot the winner. It's the second one of the day to come from last to first. It's also the second winner of the day to record a second course and distance win, with 2 course and distance wins being their only 2 in their career. That after Philomundo took the opening race. Quite a decisive win.
Yeah, again, very similar to Philomundo at the back of the field, and has picked up really strongly. But like I say, 2 off the rail here, just going round the bends, not too wide, whereas Kieran Fox has ended up swinging, 5-6 wide at the apex of the bend, so he's lost a lot of ground doing that, whereas more sensibly Paddy Mathers has ended up switching his horse once they're into the home straight, and I think that can make a big difference in this kind of grade. There's not a great deal between them, literally spread right across the track here at the moment, and it's just that final furlong. He's come basically from last to first.
He's come from in behind the second there, Pindaric. You can still see Cracker in there boxing, so too Garth Rocket, but wide around. Do you think there's much in that? Do you think that's something that could play out for the rest of it? I know obviously the comments earlier about coming off the rail as they have done, but to swoop as wide as he has done.
Yeah, I think literally once you get into the straight, be 2 or 3 wide round that bend. Nobody wants to be on that inside. You've only got one, that was Hollander, who didn't pick up at all, stepping up to 7 furlongs. Grace McEnany's mount, the Special One, looked like it's going to get involved, yet hasn't really finished the race off, so it's looked to only be, 7-8 off that rail at the home straight.
So then, Harbour Vision, the sole win for Harbour Vision prior to this was back in September 2017 in a novice auction at 25 to 1, off since October, and has returned the 12 to 1 winner today for Paddy Mathers and Derek Shaw. Pindaric 16s in second, and Garth Rocket, who was last seen back in November, has returned to the track, finishing third.
Join Bet365 and discover the power of the world's favourite online betting company. Instant match updates, in-depth analysis, live streaming. The Bet365